Is the Elcan Specter DR still a viable option with the popularity and technological advances of the LPVO? We're going to put it to the test today on the range. Let's go have some fun. Yes! Yes! The Elcan Specter DR, a once extremely popular optic used by various military units. These optics, I think at the time, were state of the art. They were super cool, very quick to go from 1 to 4 power, and they were different than, say, an ACOG that was at fix 4, where we had to put a doctor optic on the top of it. But today we are focused solely on the throw power and engagement distances for the Elcan as compared to this extremely high-end Schmidt & Bender. We're going to start at the 10-yard line and run our standard high-ready, low-ready drills, and then we will keep moving the distance out as we progress in the testing. .106, 106, .97 low ready. Now go Mozambique. .219 Mozambique. All right, so at the 10-yard line, Elcan good to go. We'll switch over to the Schmidt 1 power and see what she can do for high ready, low ready, Mozambique. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Low ready. .93. .93. Run a Mozambique now. 258. So the Elcan is actually a little bit faster for me anyways at this distance. So let's push back to the 100 and we'll run some target transition drills on the E-types. We're going to do a transition drill, single shot on 3 E-types. Start with the Elcan on 1 power, then we'll throw it to 4 and see how she does at 100. .329. So now let's go 4 power and see if we can even hit these frickin' things. .326, we beat it by, this much. So doable with the Elcan at 100 on 1 and 4 power. So this is a good distance that you can actually utilize both magnifications at. Let's switch over to the Schmidt and see how she runs. Now we got the Schmidt at 100, same drill, 3 target transition on the clock. .436 is a little bit slower, about a second slower. There it is, 353. I think that's still 2.5 tenths slower, 3 tenths slower than the Elcan. We'll go back to the 150 and try a couple different drills, standing and then kneeling, and see how quick we can actually transition with the different optics. So we'll bump back to the 150. We're at the 150 now, and we're going to do just 2-shot strings on the E-types down there on the clock. So we got 1 power 2-shot string, then we'll flip to the 4 power 2-shot string. We have a small little 8-inch popper plate down there that we'll use for the throw lever going from 1 to 4 power, so it adds to that difficulty for the magnification. So first is a 2-shot double on the clock, 1 power. .304. Okay, so now we'll go 4 power magnification, 2 shots. 327, so 0.2 of a second slower than on the 1 power. Now we'll go standing on 1 power on the clock, and we'll drop to a kneeling with the throw lever and shoot that 8-inch popper just to showcase the speed of the Elcan. And knock the popper over. We knocked the popper plate over out there with the maximum power of a 5.56. 14:27 on the time. So with the misses, adding some seconds to it. Super quick on the throw lever. So let's go over to the LPVO now and run the same drill. We're gonna run the Schmitty boy on 150 yards on the clock, 1 power standing 2 shots, 4 power standing 2 shots, and then we'll try that throw. I already know this is going to be a little slower because we do not have a throw lever on this magnification here. So we are on 1 power now on the clock. .367, not too bad. So now we'll go 4 power, 2 shots, standing. .370. All right, so now we're gonna go 1 power, 2 standing, drop to a kneeling, try to get this. This is a long dial on this Schmidt. It's probably a half a turn just to get it to the 4. So we'll see what we can do on the clock. .1188. We'll have to go back and look at the Elcan. I think it was actually slower. I don't know. So just super long throw on the LPVO, where the Elcan we just got a throw lever to get to that 4 power. The benefit would be is if I had a throw ring on here to get it to that 8 power. But going 1 to 4 kind of slow. Okay, so let's push out to 300 meters. And we'll do some different shooting from out there and close this bad boy out. Super windy, like we mentioned before. It's a direct full value 40-mile-an-hour wind. We got the truck blocking the wind here, and we're gonna do Elcan first, 300 meters, standing, kneeling, prone. So we're gonna start on the 1 power, see how we do, standing, kneeling, and prone. Then we'll switch it to the 4 power and do the same 3 drills from there. Was that 3 for 5? Not too bad. The dot in these Elcans is like, it's pretty big. So it takes up most of that E-type target. With the wind, I'm holding just left edge. So there's a little bit of a bracket there. But we're able to do 3 for 5. And then the other ones were just off the right edge because I was going center line. So we'll go to kneeling on the 1 power and see how that goes. There it is. 3 for 6. So we were less accurate on the 1 power with the kneeling. Way easier. Benefit of having something like these optics that allow us to switch magnification, like an Elcan or an LPVO, is to see if that 4 power at prone is obviously going to be way better for us. We'll see if it is for the standing and kneeling. So we'll top off a mag, come back, and we'll shoot standing, kneeling, prone at the 4 power. All right, so now we're going to use the throw lever, flip it to 4 power on the Elcan. We talked about it earlier. I think that's one of the bigger benefits of having something like this. Now, if you're going with a 1 to 8 LPVO, obviously we're getting half the magnification. If you're doing a 1:4, this is a super quick throw, and it just transitions real quick from a red dot to a magnified optic. So we're gonna go 300 meters, standing, kneeling, prone on 4 power. And I'm telling you right now, the standing is gonna crush me, but we'll see. Oi, 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 oi. Now we're gonna go down to the kneeling, which should be a lot easier than it was on the 1 power. Three for 5 on the kneeling, so almost exactly what it was. I think that is what we shot, 3 for 5 on the kneeling 1 power. So we'll go prone now, and on the 4 power should just be able to real rapid fire 3 shots on steel at 300. Let's check it out. Three for 5 again. It might just be one of those days. Might be a 3 for 5 Texas Tuesday. So Elcan, completely capable at 300 yards or 300 meters. So now we'll switch over to the LPVO, the Schmidt, and we'll try that same thing, 1 power, standing, kneeling, prone, and then we'll bump it up to 8 power, just kind of show that difference of what the magnification can do out the distance. We'll top off mags and come right back. We'll go to the Schmidt now. I can already tell you 8 power standing is going to be really difficult with this. So when we do the standing, we'll just go to that 4 power, kind of give it more of that even playing field. And then the kneeling and the prone, will jump it up to maybe 6 and then 8 for the prone. So starting off, we are at the CC 1 power on the Schmidt and Bender, 300 meters. Yikes. That is, I will tell you right now, just me personally, that Elcan is actually easier at 1 power at 300 meters than this is for my eyesight. I don't know what that, if it's just my eyes with the optic or what, but that was really difficult to see, even that E-type down there. So after an abysmal standing offhand 1 power shoot, we're gonna go to the kneeling and try to redeem ourselves, because that was brutal. Not as bad, but that was a lot easier to keep everything kind of in line, missile lock, Top Gun style.
Okay, ready to lock. Good tone, I'm taking a shot. Fire!
So now we're gonna go to prone, and hopefully everything will come together where we go 3 for 3 after a mediocre kneeling shot. So we'll go prone now. We can't break the 3 for 5 spell today. Realistically, at 300, if I had an opportunity, I'd give myself some magnification to at least enhance my ability to shoot the targets. Now, being that at 1 power this takes up an entire E-type, a little throw of this thing is gonna give us, that reticle is gonna stay the same size, and it's gonna move out, blowing that target up. Now we have a higher hit percentage because we are seeing more of the target. So that's what we're gonna do now. We'll go, we'll start on 4 power for the standing, see how bad that's gonna be. Then we'll go 6 for kneeling and 8 for prone, and we'll see how that works with my eyes anyway. So we'll top off mags and be right back in 30 seconds. ID targets, code EWS. Use EWS at checkout, 10% off, and it helps us create videos like this. We are set on 4 power for the Schmidt, and we'll see what we got. We turned the red dot off, so we're just going black sights to see if that plume kind of, maybe that's what was blowing us out on the one. So standing at 300. One for 5, trash. Try to redeem ourselves again. Kneeling, we got 5 rounds left in the mag. We're gonna shoot those and we'll top off and go to prone. We've moved it to 6 power now to give us a little bit of an edge over the Elcan, and we'll see what that looks like. Yes! 3 for 3. We've broken the curse of the West Texas wind. The one good thing about these higher end LPVOs like the Schmidt, they do have wind dots built into them. We're able to just hold off one wind dot left of the target because we have this heavy wind coming through, and we can go 3 for 3 so long as everything comes together like it did there. So now we'll go to the prone and try to go 3 for 3 in the prone on 8 power. Let us top the mag off. All right, so we dropped to the prone. We've bumped it to 8. We're gonna try to replicate the kneeling, the triumph of the kneeling, and go 3 for 3 from the prone. Yes! Yes! In this capacity, the LPVO starts to translate more into like a DMR SPR. Now, how far out can an LPVO go? 600 meters, 700, 800, they can get it done. You start getting out a little bit further than that, and I'd rather have a 5 to 35 or whatever, 4 to 25, whatever it is on here. But with the wind dots built into these, like we said before, it makes it so much easier than kind of holding out into space. Now, the Elcan has a BDC built into it for the different yard lines, I believe out to 600. This works more like a Tremor 3 reticle. Both are completely capable at 300. This one, obviously, once we get into that prone and treat it that way, is, in my opinion, way better than the Elcan. But the Elcan seem to do better at certain things on 1 power, believe it or not, which is crazy. So 300 meters with both, awesome optics, and can both get the job done. So that's it. Different distances with different styles of variable magnification on 2 different guns. Now the guns themselves are almost identical, 14.5 suppressed, basically your day-to-day AR-15, so nothing super different about them. We got a Cobalt and a Geisley over here. So the guns are both really nice. Testing, I thought, for me, as I said in the beginning of the video, the Elcan was going to do better for me just based on my vision and my eyesight. I do like these LPVOs once we start getting out to distance and I can utilize the wind dots for longer engagements, and like we had today, 45-mile-an-hour winds out here in West Texas. We are at Castle Firearms Training Center again. We want to thank Will for letting us come out here and have a free-for-all of blasting. And I want to thank Trey, the American Outlaw, for lending us these guns. Super cool of both of them to let us come out here and do this testing. And I want to thank you guys for having a blast with us. We'll see you next time.